There is nothing more of a fake friend move than just like getting a call from your bestie that almost got assassinated and then leaking that shit very publicly for everyone to hear and everyone to see and everyone to watch, only to then turn around and delete it.
Donald
Trump's surprising call with RFK Jr. is posted online, then deleted. RFK Jr. is a fucking fake friend of the highest magnitude. Okay? There is nothing more of a fake friend move than just like getting a call from your bestie that almost got assassinated and then leaking that shit very publicly for everyone to hear and everyone to see and everyone to watch, only to then turn around and delete it. It's completely unacceptable. Okay? You're fake. You're phony. Why would you do such a thing? His son was the one who leaked it. Still, like, why are you filming that shit? Anyway, Sam Cedar's take on RFK leak today was savage. It was so good, Uncle. Sam doesn't miss on RFK. Fucking phony ass, dude. It was the worm to RFK. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's get to the meat of the phone call, though.
Trump made a phone call to RFK Jr., who recorded his end of the call, and we have part of that. Let's listen.
Something's wrong with that whole system. Yeah. And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that is like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago.
This is Donald Trump trashing the very vaccines that his administration pushed through in a very successful way. And I just want to make abundantly clear, all vaccines that are approved or authorized for use have been proven safe and effective through rigorous scientific studies. Severe reactions are exceedingly rare, and the CDC says the benefits far outweigh the risks. The World Health Organization says vaccines prevent more than 4 million deaths every year. Critical fact check there, but the fact that Trump is trying to appeal to one of the most well-known vaccine opponents, clearly trying, Audie, to get him to drop his bid and get on board with Donald Trump. What does that tell you?
I kind of want to defer to Kristen here, but for a time, people thought maybe Kennedy would take votes away from Biden, and that was the big concern. And I think that sort of changed after a while as people started to take a look at this very kind of mixed bag coalition of people who are supporters of Kennedy and try to make sense of it. Obviously, the Trump people have, or else this phone call wouldn't have happened.
David, the other thing happening this morning, we saw this kind of, I don't want to call it leaked, but it was an accidentally posted video of a call between Donald Trump and RFK.
Let's watch the full footage.
And something's wrong with that whole system. And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that is like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see?
Yeah, classic. They're always doing this, dude.
The size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me. And he said, how did you choose to move to the right? So I guess that's, people said, if I was looking straight on, right? He said, I said, I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country, right? But I just turned my head to show the chart. And something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going right. What do they call it?
That's my favorite part, where he's just like, it's like a giant mosquito whizzing through my ear. Also, yeah, the Blade Runner filter on this is pretty fire.
That an AR-15 or something. That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right?
Anyway, let's get back to CNN's analysis over this messy bitch, RFK Jr.
K Jr. This is fascinating to me because normally a third-party candidate.
This is why most of the country hates ultra leftists and socialists. Yeah, it's just like no fun ass motherfuckers. It's just so annoying. And then they'll sit in the chat and get offended and be like, "No, I just don't think that was fun. Shut up. Like, you're just not fun. You're just annoying and bad, and that's why we didn't like it. Even though I've fucking given you $5 for like 86 months, and I love you, and I will defend you until the day I die. Except I fucking hate you right now in this very moment because you called me out."
We wouldn't be paying a ton of attention to, but this is someone who has the potential to impact this race. Why is Donald Trump having an in-person meeting with RFK Jr. and calling him on the phone, and they're chit-chatting about vaccine skepticism?
Yeah, so let's put the vaccine skepticism aside for a moment here, since we know that approved vaccines are indeed safe and effective in this country. But it does speak to some ideological alignment and where Trump is still in pursuit of something here. I mean, this is what I find so fascinating. He has the phone call on Sunday, of course, talks about how he's doing after the shooting as well, in addition to the vaccine piece. But then the in-person meeting here in Milwaukee on Monday, that is a concerted effort to try and see if there's a way to bring RFK Jr. and his supporters into this Trump fold. It's something that the Trump campaign has been keenly focused on throughout the entirety of this campaign. They are of the mind that there are some real alignments with the RFK Jr. voters, and they saw him as a potential threat, and you see him right now trying to embrace it.
Yeah, and I would also say, I mean, one of the things that we've heard over and over again since the shooting on Saturday is that Donald Trump is actually trying for this message on unity. Now, I will be clear. How long this lasts, if it lasts, we have no idea. Obviously, Donald Trump is not one for a unified message, but the people I've spoke to who are close to him have said that he feels like a changed man. At least he...
Dude, I hate this narrative, but like low key, maybe I'm too lived up right now. And I was talking to Austin about this last night as well. That motherfucker looked changed, dude. He did. Last night, when I was watching his ass, he just looked like something was different, dude. He had an air about him. Look, I will, of course, wait and see. He could be changed for the worse. That's the highest likelihood. But when he was there at the RNC, he looked different. He looked sad. You know? He looked like a man who had a brush with death. He looked like a man who had a near-death experience, which he did. So we shall see. His ass only signed up for money and fame. Now that he almost lost his wig, he's second-guessing. That's what I was thinking, too, because he's like a massive narcissist who's only interested in his own damn self, right? Like, we know that. That's a fact, right? Having said that, however, it does kind of feel like this politics shit ain't a game no more when your life is on the line all of a sudden. Like, running for re-election is your way out of prison. Because for Donald Trump, it's literally not life or death, but like life behind bars, or at least some time behind bars versus no time behind bars. So he sees it as an existential crisis for that reason. Like his continuation of this re-election is his attempts at winning the presidency. Having said that, however, now that it's a literal fucking life or death style situation, well, then the dynamic changes a little bit, don't you think? Where he's like, damn, bro, this shit could get me killed. Like, I thought the Secret Service was like on it, you know? I thought the Secret Service was saving my ass every time. This is your worst day? He would never see jail, house arrest at best. Sure, but he doesn't think that. He thinks he probably would go to jail. I mean, dude, come on. He thinks he's like, once he's no longer running for office, he doesn't have that protective barrier that the Republican Party gives him. And when he doesn't have that protective barrier that the Republican Party gives him as their candidate, all of a sudden, he doesn't have like the same, like he doesn't even have, if he doesn't have campaign funds, how's he gonna fucking pay for all the legal fees and shit? Come on.
He's saying he is. One of the things that he's saying is that he's lucky
I need
to
you to
be
understand
alive.
something though. I'm not saying that this means that he's like, I'm not saying that this means he's like a good guy magically or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply stating that my boy had a brush with death and he just simply looked like he changed a little bit. His attitude looked a little different when he was at the RNC. It's the night. He's the belle of the ball. This is his night. I don't think he's reformed. I just think it shook a little bit of fear into him. That's it.